Everyone, welcome to another Greeny and Craig stream, guys. Live with you 7 p.m. Sunday to Tuesday, and then 10 p.m. on Thursdays and Wednesdays. I need to get the days still confusing me, Craig, when we're talking in American times. Anyways, guys, huge show. As you can see, we've got a guest today. Okay. Daila from Abstract, obviously community lead, is joining us today. So absolutely stoked to have her on. Massive shout out to Craig for sorting that out over the past couple of weeks. How are you going? But how are you both going today?
I'm good, but I'll let Daila take the lead. Daila, sorry, welcome.
And I'm having a great day. No, thanks for having me, guys. I'm really excited about this one. It's one of my favorite streams. Don't tell all the other streamers, I guess. But it is one of my favorites.
You hear that, Eli?
Get him off the chain. Get him off the chain. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, you're going.
I love it. I popped in on Eli's in his comments today, so we're good. But other than that action-packed day. It's XP Day. It's always a good day on XP Day. You know, a little fun stuff on the timeline today. But what are you gonna do? This don't ruin my mood. So whatever.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's been a lot coming out, and obviously, like, let's touch on that briefly. Like, I'm not going to dive into the situation too much, but it's more about, like, you guys are learning. It's a new chain. Everyone wants to kind of come and build on here. You need to vet people to make sure that they're not going to extract. Like, it makes a lot of sense, right? When the focus is purely on consumers, okay? And I think, like, Craig and I respect that. We understand that there has to be centralized aspects to it for it to work as a consumer chain. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong, and a lot of teams probably go wrong, is that they don't understand that it's not just like, it's not like, I would hate to throw another blockchain name in, but like, it's not a extracting chain. We're not here to just rug people and get a quick money, okay, scheme. It's actually consumer based. And we've seen that so much over the past few months. So you don't have to comment on it if you don't want to, but that's at least my sort of thesis, right?
I will comment on it, but not like in too much detail, just from my perspective, because, you know, I don't want to take liberties. I can't speak for anybody. Exactly. But what I can say is decentralization is always a high priority, right? Like, you want to give people the opportunity to build. You can't, like, just bar people from building. But that doesn't mean, like, withdrawing accountability. And the team's biggest priority is the safety of the community. And if, you know, something just doesn't feel right, we really have it on ourselves to say, these are our people to protect. If something happens and it's on our watch and we felt it coming, then it's kind of on us to be like, okay, what can we do about that? But I do know the team really does go out of their way to provide as much support as they can as possible 100%. For these builders, and they take it very, very seriously. That's pretty much all you see. Like, if you ever saw Finn's calendar, it's actually fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
It's actually terrifying.
I was thinking about that, like, the fact, like, you guys do such a good job for the small team that you really are, like, because you have like a tens of thousands of people now on the chain. You've got people wanting to stream, you've got traders, you've got community members, you've got builders, you've got devs. Like, there's so much going on, and you're trying to, like, I think what you've shipped so far is fantastic, right? Like, we've had a massive overhaul in the trading way that you can on the chain. You've seen obviously a range of new games and dApps coming in, which is fantastic. So I think it's kudos to you guys, but it is, I can understand under the pump how much it would actually be behind the scenes.
I mean, like, we don't have a very big team. The team is about 25 people, and that's mostly like the dev team. So, you know, as far as like the community facing team, like, we all wear a lot of hats, and I'm lucky to be on the team that I am, because there's a lot of communication. There's a lot of, hey, can you help out with this? And people offering to help you with anything, and just kind of fill the blanks to make sure that we're giving the community the best attention we can. But it's parkour. It really is.
But that's crypto. That can be crypto as well. Hey, like, I mean, Craig and I, we wake up every morning in Australia and shit's happened overnight that we miss because it's in American time zones. All right. So that's crypto. But that's, whilst it can be tiring and exhausting, it's actually the best part about our jobs, and the best part of this industry is that it is 24/7. There's so many opportunities for builders, for traders, gamers, like streamers, etc. Like, it's a fantastic opportunity. Crypto in general, but obviously Abstract more specifically recently for consumers, and that's why we are loving it. So I mean, Craig, do you want to kick us off? I mean, should we briefly touch on XP this week? Because obviously the Red Bull Racing NFT mints over the past week have dramatically seen millions of on-chain transactions come to the chain, new users signing up, new addresses signing up. I highly recommend you do connect your Abstract Global wallet if you have minted elsewhere, guys. I highly recommend you do that. But it's fantastic to see. I know I actually got my highest weekly XP this week ever. I got 70,000, I think, XP this week. So,
damn.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. So it's up from, I think I've been averaging between 50 and 60 for about 4 weeks now. So it's nice to push it up that little bit higher. So how did you both go? Like, is that something on your radar as well, Daila, or not?
I mean, I haven't been streaming as much because I've just been doing a lot more behind the scenes, but I get about like, I was like 23,000 this week. So not, crazy numbers, but I do interact with the site myself. Like I am a community member and I use it just the way any other community member would. So like, we don't get like any extra, like, hey, you're on the team, so you get a little extra XP.
Yeah.
Like, no, we have to earn our shit just like anybody else. Yeah. But that's not really hard. Like I have to use it anyway, because what kind of dumbass would work for Abstract and say all this great stuff about a platform they didn't use? But it is, I do a lot of things like roach racing. I definitely minted for the Red Bull, and I support a lot of the projects that are building on here. So I'm always minting some kind of NFT. And Final Bosu, I had my 2 Final Bosus, and they revealed, and they're kind of badass. Well, I bought both of them on secondary, but like, because I didn't get whitelist.
No, neither did I. I mean, this is before Craig and I were big, or like maybe not big, but like had more exposure. So it's nice to see that more recently.
Sometimes you miss them, but like I had no problem buying them on secondary and supporting. Yeah. But there's so much going on that if you're not making any XP, it's like what are you not hitting here? Like maybe you guys change up your strategy a little bit. Who was it was on the timeline who got like almost no XP and was trading a lot, but he was using Dex. Somebody did. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't name names anyway.
No, yeah, probably not. I mean, like I know a few people too who like one's very prominent in the space, and his focus is purely just like I'm trading and I'm not gonna try and farm that airdrop as well. He's like, look, he is a whale as well. He's been around a while, but he's just like not too keen. I'm like, that's fine. Like if that's what he wants to do, I respect that, to be honest. Like that's kind of cool. So
you're getting XP for trading anyway, as long as you're doing it on the platform where we can measure it for you.
Exactly. All right, Craig, kick us off, mate. What do you want to start with today?
Oh, it's Chris. Someone in the chat saying it was Chris who must have got low XP or something. Yeah, man, I got just shy of 40,000 today. So it's 39,000. My high was 33,000 up till then. So what's that, about a 20% boost? I was looking for more, but my goal was around 40,000. So I just about hit it because I just started increasing my NFTs and things like that. Like, what did I get? The ROMs, the Gigaverse ROMs. I bought a bunch of gold.
Very nice. Very nice.
Decided to sort of get away from the meme coins in that they didn't seem to be giving much of an XP boost or yield, maybe because everyone was playing there. So that it was congested. So more of a focus on NFTs. So that was good, boosted a bit. I just want to go back to just real quick to the topic you're talking about before. That was obviously with Blastem. I just wanted to ask for the people that have, has there been any correspondence with the people that put in e.g. me for the pre-sale about getting money back?
I did see that Finn had recommended to the founders that they refund it. We can't necessarily force anybody to do anything. That's on them because they did the pre-sale. But it has been like very strongly encouraged. Like, hey, if people want out of this, you should be able to let them out of it. So
yeah, cool. Okay, so we're just waiting for the team to get back and say how they're going to handle the situation. Yeah. Okay, cool. No trouble. So yeah, XP wise though, it was good, and I saw some really big numbers on the timeline. I know Greeny hit all-time high. That's my all-time high. Eli hit all-time high. I think he got
106. I think.
Yeah, no, not his all-time high because he had that week where he went massive on Bitcoin or whatever it was too. So, but it was still his second highest week, so that's good to see as well.
Did he get 100,000 plus or less?
Yeah.
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 Okay, so he's well on his way to platinum, huh?
Crazy
yeah,
work.
I believe so. I mean, dude, it's nice to be rewarded. I think like we've spoken about this for a while, right? Like more transactions, more users, more volume on chain will ultimately reward people with more XP. Like it makes a lot of sense. So that's why we do what we do. We try to get more people on to the chain in very educational and simple ways as well. All right, let's take it right back. What's your crypto story? How long ago did you join? What was it? Trading? Was it content? Talk us through some of the steps that got you here today.
So before Web3, I was not a content creator. So I got into crypto like a lot of people did, like around the COVID shutdown. I was home and read this article on Bitcoin, and I was like, oh my gosh, like digital currency, that's really interesting. So I got into trading and traded Bitcoin. I tell this story a lot where I accidentally bought 2 Bitcoin because wire transfers wire transfers take longer than crypto does, right? So I went to do the wire transfer once and didn't see it go through, and I'm like, oh, something messed up on this site, and I accidentally bought 2 Bitcoin. So it was a very clenched up moment for me, but luckily, 2020 was very friendly to people who bought in early, so did really well with that. But it's kind of the same stance I have now. Trading like that can be very isolating and super stressful. It's really high intensity, and it still isn't my favorite thing to do. It's just not, I'm not built for that kind of thing. And I started getting into NFTs. I heard about Bored Ape Club and VFriends had minted. Neither one of those really like hit the note that I was looking for. So I started an X account, and the next day said, I'm interested in NFTs. Somebody tell me about projects, and I got completely like trolled to death by like the Sappy Seals community, and they roped me in. And if there's any kind of community to rope you in the early days when they are like talking shit on the timeline, Sappy Seals is absolutely it. Yeah. So they were my crash course, and they're really great content creators, really just hilarious and creative people in the community. They taught me how to make memes. I started kind of making like little videos just to have fun in the Discord, and started posting them on timeline, and kind of the rest is history. Like you've seen my pinned video where it's Pampered OpenSea.
Hilarious. That's so good.
I remember seeing that live back when you first did it. That's how I first heard about you. Well, that's how I first came across you, sorry. So that's why when I saw you with Abstract and I reached out, I was like, oh, this is going to be pretty surreal, because that video went massive.
Yeah.
Your monkey picture. Oh, congratulations. That video is so good. So
thank you, and go fuck yourself.
Yeah. That's how I met you, or whatever, got to see you. So that always made me laugh. So that was that the moment you kind of was that your first big viral moment right there?
That was like the first time I was like, oh my gosh, I could actually make content around this, and people get it, and it's sticking, and people enjoy it. But and now we're partnered with OpenSea, so that's just great. Hopefully,
isn't that good?
My profile,
What a full circuit.
That's good. What the hell? Your pinned tweets pretty much being them saying go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
How good's crypto? Only in crypto, I reckon, could you do an ad insulting them and then partner with them.
I know, it's pretty fucking based.
But it was in good humor. It was in good humor too. I think everyone in crypto gets that joke.
Yeah. And from there on, like kind of like branched out, did a lot of stuff. Again, meme coin content became something I became known for. You guys have probably seen like the ticker Bitcoin blue paint kind of situation.
I didn't know that was you.
Yes.
For ages. The lady sitting at the table with her arms quite like formal almost. I don't know
me.
Can you bring it up, Greenie? Can you bring it up?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, I'm out. Hold on, you might need to find me.
You probably don't care, actually.
Did you guys really not know that was me? That's
not straight away. I didn't, and then I was like, "Hang on a minute." Yeah, because he's going to wiggle. Oh, you'll see, Greenie. It's like when you know, but I didn't at the time. And it, like
that's me. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's wild in that picture. Wow.
Dude, I miss some of the early stage of these meme coins. Like when all like Sprottos, like when all the NFTs were coming up, when all the meme coins like take a Bitcoin, like what was that other really random one? I have to run it back, but they were all on. This is way back in 23. Like this is before people even knew what meme coins were before people started max extracting on Solana chain. Man, this takes me back to one of the funnest times in crypto.
Yeah, ETH was good. Meme coins were healthy. Yeah. Ticker Bitcoin is ripping. There was the other guy who also did the videos for Ticker Bitcoin. What's his name? He started another
Huey.
Yeah, that dude's crazy, man.
He is. Listen, that is an artist like true to his form, and he goes for a character. He absolutely goes for it. I actually reached out to him to thank him because he was the inspiration for like doing something like different. There was somebody who was on the timeline who was just absolutely embracing this. Yeah. Like, if the world's gonna say we're degens and we're just like crackheads or whatever, fine, let's put on a show. You know, like, and it was like it was the golden age of meme coin content. I've said before, like, I really, really hope people start leaning into real content for meme tokens on Abstract. I would love it. Like, we have a streaming platform. You could do so many things. Like, use all the tools at your disposal. Do some weird shit.
Yeah.
The worst that could happen is you get a lot of XP.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. It'll be interesting to see if more creators do lean into that, because you're right, they're streaming right on the platform. So why not? I mean, you've got that guy Trev who does pretty crazy stuff. I mean, that may not be Abstract's cup of tea, the what he's talking about and stuff, and ripping his teeth out. But, you know, you've got a guy like that on stream who's extremely viral. I wonder when people like that are going to come across and just do these cracked out, wacky videos, which I think is probably not a bad thing, because, you know, it's one thing to have Greeny and I doing like market takes and things like that, but that may not be everyone's cup of tea, right? So some people just probably want cracked out candy coming at them, you know, versus us, who probably could be boring to some people or whatever. So, yeah, maybe, right, Greeny? I can't imagine anyone doesn't love the show, but...
Dude, what the... Craig, you're playing our own show, mate. Come on, mate.
I mean, I drank a beer, Daila. I don't know if you saw.
Yeah,
I did a shoey.
We're entertaining.
I did a shoey on Abstract last week.
What?
I did a shoey. Yeah, Abstract's first. Got to be the first shoey done on here. Yeah, on stream. Sure. Yeah, it was a great day. It was a great day from Abstract. Really. So I haven't heard from Finn yet, but I'm sure he's ringing me to congratulate me any day.
Yeah, I really love it when, I mean, I want all kinds of content on the platform, and I want variety. Like, it's just like when you're watching TV. Sometimes you're in the mood for a comedy, sometimes a horror, sometimes a documentary. And I think that the Web3 community has always been based in the intersection of technology and art and culture, right? And I think that there's a way to translate that into even more robust entertainment form, and using streaming, which is, you know, another reason why streaming is awesome on the Abstract platform. And and it's just a matter of people kind of tapping into it and starting to feel comfortable and saying, you know what, let me experiment and see what I can do. But, you know, we're all like nerds who sit in our basement, so it takes a little bit of, like, you know, poking the bear to get us going.
It does. Yeah, both of us. I mean, I don't know what Greeny was like, but at first when I jumped on camera, it's pretty weird. It was easy on the timeline to banter and be a certain, not personality type, but you've got your sort of angle that you've lean into. And then on camera, I mean, obviously you're fully exposed then. And people can see your manner, especially live. Live's a different kettle of fish. If you're filming and it's recorded, that's okay. You can retake. But now if I F up your name or do anything, you know, it can be daunting. So at first, but then after a while, you just think, fuck it. What's the worst that can happen? I make a dick of myself, and it's a viral clip, and I go viral anyway. So hopefully, for good or bad, it'll be okay. So
the worst that can happen is you get a shit ton of XP because you went viral for doing something dumb. Like, it is a no-lose situation.
I did it. My best one so far is I did a stream a while back when I first started on Abstract, and I went out for lunch, came back, started doing the stream. It was only my second stream with this guy. And all of a sudden, I realized I must have had food poisoning from lunch. And I'm sitting there on stream. I'll bring it up. I'll have to clip it one day because you can almost see the moment it happens. And I start sweating. And I'm sitting there on stream, and he's talking. I've been on stream about an hour, and I just start sweating. And I'm like, holy shit, what's going wrong with me? And I stop talking. And then I'm sitting there and I'm typing to him like on Restream in the back channel going, dude, I'm going to chuck. I need you to stop talking so I can like go, all right, guys, I got to go to close the show because it's my show. He's a guest, so I can't just go. And he won't stop talking. So I just end the stream, just close it. And I literally, because I'm holding my mouth here, I hold my mouth and I start sprinting and I get halfway and I just
Oh,
ouch.
well.
And then I told him, and he's like, dude, you should have done it on stream. And I'm like, fuck, I probably should have done it on stream, but I didn't. At the time, I was like, I don't embarrass myself, but that would have been fucking good content. Damn it, because it was good. It was a good throw up. So anyway, that's disgusting. So guys, if you're ever feeling like streams could go bad, I did chuck almost on stream. I'm waiting for the shit myself in stream. I haven't done that, but yeah.
I mean, the day is young, dude. The day is young.
Yeah, we
got plenty of time.
All right, should we go back to Abstract Greenie away from the toilet?
Yeah, mate. I mean, it took me back to dark memories when I was overseas last year and I got chronic food poisoning when I was in Sardinia, Italy. Oh my God. Both ends, same time. No good. Like 2 days.
Bargaining with God, just.
Oh my God.
Like, guy, right? You're like, just
I didn't even, and my mate literally drank and ate the same things as me, and he was sweet. I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, it was just crazy. So, no, that flashed me back about 8 months ago, Craig. So, thanks for that. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's horrific.
No, well, we obviously understand your story. How Abstract partnership, how did they get you involved? Did you reach out? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Oh, yeah, great. So I've known Finn actually for years. We were added to a group chat together with a community, a Happy Seals group chat. And just connecting, just talking the same way you would talk to anybody in a group chat. I happened to run into him at Rare Evo in Las Vegas last year. And he was telling me that he was like, yeah, I'm having a career change, really into some interesting things. And we actually had a really short conversation about just finding meaning in the space. At that point, it was like the height of PvP and meme coins, and neither one of us were really into that kind of community experience. And so cut to a while later, I get a DM from him and he said, hey, I'm working for Abstract now, and we're actually building a women's community and we have a group chat. Would you like to be added to it? And so I got added to the women's group chat. Inevitably, I became the yappiest yapper in there. And there was somebody else who was running it, and she really didn't have the bandwidth to keep up with it. And he was like, hey, I really think that you'd be great to just run the women's community. You've done so much with women and for women in the space. Like, I feel like you're a shoo-in for it. And I was like, fucking bet. So I was onboarded to Abstract the way almost everybody else was somebody who I knew and trusted in the space was like, I'm building in this. I really think that you'd be interested. Do you want to check it out and just be in a group chat? So it was great because I was able to have the authentic community member experience. I got to be excited about Abstract, not because I thought that they were giving me a check, but because I'm like, wow, I really am interested in the way that they're building a community. He kept saying was these fuck farmers. He's like, I don't want it. 100%. I asked him how to build the community. I'm like, do you want this kind of person? He's like, add people who are genuinely interested in the ecosystem and want to build and want to be here long term. He's like, he did not care about like vanity metrics of it or having certain kind of look or aesthetic. He's like, just connect with other women, add people, have fun with it, make it organic and real. And we've stuck to that, and it's great. I mean, we have the Angel HQ, which is the women's only chat, but we used to have Angel City, which is our co-ed chat, because we had some people who vibe with angels, but didn't right?
Hey, I thought I was in the girls one for a bit. I was like, this is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then I realized I was in the co-ed one. I was like, damn it, I thought I had infiltrated.
Hey, where's the invite, guys? Where's the invite? Come on.
Yeah, we've got to add you.
It's a good chat. There's a whole bunch of it's actually a really good chat because it's not like the other Abstract ones I'm in. It's all sorts of people about all sorts of topics rather than
I love that
coin, shitcoin. There's not much shilling.
I hate those. I fucking hate those chats. They are the worst chats. Literally.
Yeah, no, this is just people's content getting posted. It's feel good. There's no bad vibes. It's
It really is like people like my biggest thing in the chat is I'm like, if you're building something, don't feel weird about shilling your chat or what you're building. Be proud of it and expect to support people and expect the support back. And I feel like that's the best way of building a community chat is saying we're all here for the same things. Like I don't I don't feel a need to compete with anybody. I don't feel the need to ever feel like muscle somebody out. Like it's going to make me feel better. Like it's all bullshit. We're all cartoons on the internet. So make the best of it. Have fun.
Yeah.
I think that's so many people get it wrong. Like, I mean, like we run a community, like it's my trading community, but Craig's a big part of that as well and has been for a long time. And so many people get it wrong. Like you are part of the community. You're not like, sure, you might be the leader of the community and you have to make some business decisions, some tough calls sometimes, but you are part of the community. I gained so much more knowledge than half the time I'm sure people gain knowledge from me because as you said, like everyone's unique, everyone has their own story, everyone's building or trading or doing something. And it's like you collaboratively have the same goal to like achieve something bigger than what we can in our day jobs or what we have been doing for a long time. So no, I love that. Like I'm a big community guy and I'm so thankful to be part of the abstract community. I mean, I actually had a look at cookie.fun. I think it's a great sort of mind share to see who's jumping up, who's going down, all those sorts of things. And a lot of the people are spread throughout the abstract chain, right? It's streamers, it's gamers, it's devs, it's Luca, it's Cigar, it's Craig and I, it's Eli, it's other smaller creators like Woo, Azino, these guys who never really had much of a voice and now they have these huge voices because of abstract and streaming. So I DM Woo all the time. I jump into his streams. Like it's so nice to
shout out to Woo. I fucking love Woo.
He's a fucking legend. I love Woo as well. Big respect for Woo. So that's what I mean. Like it's so cool to be part of something like that is consumer focused but a friendly environment. I think that's what a lot of things really miss in this space. So that's cool to hear. It's cool to hear.
Yeah, I mean, we spend a lot of time with these groups, right? We talk to them more than our significant other, so you might as well build these groups of people whose like opinions value, and you can trust to kind of help guide you through this whole experience. Because otherwise, then we go back to PvP, and that's like a migraine. Yeah. Who wants that?
Yeah, exactly. So I wanted to follow up with that. What is the Abstract Angels, and what's its purpose? What's its goal? What's the community?
Okay, so Abstract Angels is really short and sweet. It's the official women's community of abstract. So I've been part of women's communities. I've done women-centered events. And as a woman in the industry, I know exactly what it's like kind of coming up in it when you're brand new. And it's evolved. It's a world of difference from when I came into the space, and anything I posted where somebody was like, nobody's buying your OnlyFans. And like that doesn't happen as much anymore. But it can be intimidating being a woman and building in the space. Yeah. And so first and foremost, they are creators, they are builders, they are intelligent traders. These are women who are skilled in, these are people who are skilled in their field who happen to be women. And I'm like, let's get us all in a room, because like what's better than networking with the same kind of people? And so in that chat, we talk from everything from, personal life situations and relationships to like who's buying what and trading alpha. And it's like the best girls' bathroom at the best club you could ever be at.
Love that. Yeah. And I think it's important to have like a community like that. So Craig and I were talking about this last week when we knew we were getting you on. Like, I believe you are the first female on the channel, and I think that's just epic. And I think it's a sign of what's to come in crypto. Because I know, like, when I look at my YouTube analytics for all the videos, when I look at my Twitter analytics, it's like 90 to 95% of male watchers. So like, there's such a massive gap there for females to jump on board. I know. I talk to like my wife and her mates and stuff, and a lot of them are like, "Oh, like Sam, or Greenie, you're in crypto. Like talk to us a little bit about this." And I'm like, "Yeah, cool. Like it'd be cool to see more of you get involved." But I think it comes back to that risk tolerance thing, and it's just like a lot of at least my wife and her friends are like, "Oh, look, it's very skeptical. We want to like keep our cards close." Whereas I know me and my mates are more like, "Oh shit, there's a meme coin. Let's go chuck $1,000 on that and see if it goes up." And that sort of thing. Do you think that's like let's ask, what are the barriers, do you think? What are the barriers?
I feel like especially with women, it's hard to balance a digital life and real life, right? We're expected to be wives, mothers, professionals, keep up with your social life, stay healthy, do this, be that. Yeah. And it can be very intimidating to kind of like get into a group and feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not up to par with these people. So the way I like to lead by example is by saying I am constantly fucking up. There is something that I have neglected. There is something I did wrong, and really embracing that and making the Web3 experience very human. And I'm like, yes, I'm a professional. I've been a trader and an investor for years. Like I'm also a fucking idiot and say really dumb things and want to post pictures of like kittens and shit, like I like you can have it all. But again, we live in a society, and I feel like especially for women, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves on what people think of us. And the demographics of the abstract angels all over the place. We're from college students to grandmothers and everything in between.
Insane.
And globally. And you get into the chat and it's neutral ground and everybody is the same. And there's a kind of like, there's a connection where, if you're part of the older demographic, you kind of learn more about the space and are able to connect with it in a way that feels a little bit more familiar. When, you're a younger female, there's a different kind of pressure. And when you're a creator, you get a little bit of those more experienced creators who can help guide you through the experience and make it something that it's like, okay, well, I don't have to sell my soul to become a professional. I don't have to fit anybody's archetype or box to be a woman in Web3, because we are a lot of things. And for a while, even like the PFP art was just like, if there was an NFT of a woman, it was like bikini top and like huge boob, and that was it. And now it's evolved to like, you see like projects like Final Bosu, and the women in the art are absolute fucking badasses and all look different and all have different like kind of outfits. And I'm like, wow, we really are like coming into a place where we see each other in a more neutral ground, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, that's a good point. With the male and female art on Final Bosu, they're quite equivalent. It's not like women have just got one feature or two features popping out, and that's what they've zone in on. I got what you're saying. Yeah, that's a really good point. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, and I have one that's a hoodie, and I'm always like, oh my gosh, they have women with huge boobs, and I'm like sitting on screen with like fucking huge boobs. So who the fuck who am I to say anything? Like, let's just
don't be me. Don't stop drawing me.
But like I said, it's real, and it's like, okay, so I look like a friggin' troll 97% of the time, and like, like I have a good 3% where I'm feeling myself, and that's how it is, and that's reality for everybody.
That's all of us. That's me included.
Yeah.
This is as good as it gets. Greenie on here. Greenie yesterday on stream showed us his hair was good. His bed hair was about 2 meters high. I found that with women with streaming, because I've actually I reached out because, with Greenie mentioning that you were the first on stream, I had I'd reached out to some others, not before you, by the way, Daila.
Of course
but there were a few other ladies / girls, women I reached out to, and quite a lot of them were quite shy or intimidated to come on screen, even though some of them had done videos that they've recorded and post where they seem very confident, look the perfect part. And I thought, gee, they'll be perfect to get on. They're perfect. And then when I've reached out, they've kind of freaked out that it's live, which is a real bummer, because I'm like, damn it, I can't get any women on the show. So thanks for jumping on. First of all,
no worries.
And I hope like with people like, women like you coming on, or just people like you coming on, it maybe motivates other women to come on and be silly.
Yeah.
I think sometimes maybe men, we get to be the goofballs. Maybe in society we're allowed to be retards more than women, maybe, or we are retards. I think maybe we kind of feel, maybe I don't know if this is true, but maybe it's perhaps easier for us to come on and fuck up than ladies. I don't know, but it seems to be the case when I ask.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there is like kind of like a boundary where women feel like they can't get like too silly, because then you're always worried about looking dumb and people kind of invalidate you by what you look. But I could look far and wide, and I couldn't find one single fuck to give about how crazy I would look on stream. And like I said, I have to lead by example. So if I'm comfortable being goofy, then hopefully other women can embrace that about themselves. But yeah, I mean, the male audience has a factor in there too. I was watching Eli's stream earlier today, and somebody in the comments said, "Oh, you're glad to see it's a guy and not some hot girl." And it's like,
What?
So what if the girl is hot? You know, like
What? Who are they talking about? That Eli?
Yeah,
Were they?
Yeah.
who was he with? Wasn't he with Kev? He was with Kev today, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was at a point where he was like by himself and he was talking and somebody's like, "Oh, great to see it's a guy." And I'm like, "There's a ton of
Oh,
guys on this platform. Like there's way more men than
yeah.
women." So I see a lot of like some complaints like that and I'm like, "Bro, if you're really so upset that all you see is like a certain kind of woman on your timeline, you understand it's an algorithm, right?"
Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably what you might be looking
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
in the other tabs or something as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
Just embrace that about yourself, bro. Like just live your simp truth. Just
Yeah,
be
I agree.
it.
Oh, look, and the other thing is, if women want to come on the platform and be women in whatever way they like, then that's fine too, right? Like, who gives a shit what everyone's doing on there? Like, I don't care. Everyone can do their jam, and if people want to watch that, who am I to say?
Yeah, we have great women. I mean, we have Marianne, who is an incredible creator and
Yes.
is I mean, she was one of the first like really big community voices for abstract and she was one of the earliest abstract angels. Like we had conversations on the phone. She is somebody who I think is phenomenal in the way she carries herself. And I remember during a conversation I had is like I said, we need a voice like you. Don't change the way you talk or the way you act, like just being you. And that's a woman who streams. She's not doing anything provocative. She's intelligent, she's insightful, she's a professional, and she's fun and she's cool and she's funny. And she's all these things all at the same time. And she got to be, you know, one of these female characters who transcended, you know, what people say was a woman creator. And it's like, oh no, this is just a leading voice in the
Just
community.
a creator now.
Exactly.
I
And
saw
that's
Finn's
how people see
post
it.
to her today. I think he gave her a shout out for her content she's been banging out. There's a real there. She put out quite a big animation of herself in a like an anime type. It's awesome, man. Her content, the quality of it's phenomenal.
But I think to wrap that point, I like as a whole, it's not caring about what others think, and I think that is the secret to everything. If you can learn to let go of what other people think, you unlock life. You unlock life and how fun it can actually be, and how successful you can actually be.
Yeah. I mean, we're all here, like we're connecting with different people, we're making friends, and like the easiest way to grow in Web3 period is just to be your authentic self. It's going to come out eventually anyway.
Yeah.
So you might as well just put it all out there and just kind of like hope you find your tribe and people find it entertaining.
And I think exactly entertainment, but the unique aspect is why people grow. Like there's a reason that like people get more followers. It's because they're unique, they provide value, and they're entertaining. Like that's the key at the end of the day. So I love to see it. All right, well let's fast forward. So what excites you about abstract right now? And what sort of things are you looking forward to in the coming weeks, in the coming months, all those sorts of things?
A lot of things excite me about abstract. So abstract, first and foremost, the team behind the scenes. We have a lot of frigging badass energy. We have, you know, we have Luca, there's Michael, there's Saigar, like and you have these powerhouses of intelligent and approachable people who genuinely enjoy building. And then we're attracting different projects, both in Web 2 and Web 3, who have innovative ideas and want to collaborate and want to do things that are new. And this is, I feel like it's bringing me back to what I thought Web 3 was going to evolve into when I joined Web 3. You know, we've talked about onboarding the consumer market forever, right? Like that's always been the focus, to do something that's mainstream. And here you have people who are genuinely working towards that in an authentic way, who are saying we're not going to take shortcuts, we're not going to just like, you know, like pay our way to do a ton of like marketing and pay, you know, a bunch of people just to like it. Like we feel like our product has the chops to earn that organically, and it has. And you know, I feel like the abstract community is rooted a lot in it evolved as an appendage from like the pudgy community, you know, like it just started with that same kind of connection and that same kind of devotion to like, yeah, we're building together. And that being kind of like at the foundation does develop into a different kind of community experience. Like you had situations where, remember that like Rocks project like way back when we
On
first
E?
launched mainnet.
On-
Yeah,
yeah.
and remember that
$11
founder got
million.
pissed off because like everybody was like in the back channel saying don't mint this, it's a rug and whatever, and he
Yeah.
was pissed off that nobody minted his
Yeah.
scam.
Yeah. Fuck. And I didn't
I'm
miss
like,
it.
this is based as shit. I'm like, we're telling each other, hey, like, you know, look out for this. Like, you should be careful with this. And I want to be in that kind of community. And it's such a huge priority to the team. I feel like we're all very aligned in that it makes it easy to say, yes, I work for Abstract. Yes, I'm doing this. I'm going to continue to do this. And I've said a few times, if I wasn't working for Abstract, I'm not exactly sure where I would fit in Web3 with the way things were going. So I'd probably be a lot more chill and quiet in the back chat rooms if it weren't for Abstract, but it does get me excited.
Yeah. Love that. All right, Craig, I've asked so many questions, Craig. I'll hand the baton to you, mate.
Yes, Craig.
Brilliant. So I was studying you last night, Daila, just with some of your other interviews. Did I hear correctly that you had made your first million by 29?
I did. I absolutely did.
I wanted to ask you. So actually, congratulations, first of all. That's friggin' I was going to say impossible, incredible, because that's young. What made you go from making? Actually, how did you make your money there? If you don't mind me asking, I don't know where that's going to go. And then also, what took you from there to Web3?
So, my Web2 career, I had co-founded a transitional housing program in the state I lived in.
Cool.
So, so I had a state contract, and we ended up building an app for the Department of Corrections, basically, and had 19 like these shelters at the time, and did very, very well financially. Is very big as far as status, as far as money. However, it was very, very soul sucking work. It was all the time. I was dealing with the worst of people that were coming out of prison. It was emotionally difficult. I all of a sudden was dealing with things like suicides and overdoses and finding bodies in houses, and what do I tell these families and things like that. And I'm just somebody who is like, I'm too soft for that. I do take it like personal. I can't shut off like that human emotion part of myself to say like, let's just get the job done. And so while it was incredible, and the program is still in existence to this day, it's the largest program in the state, and been the example for other states to follow suit. It was something that I got to the point that I was physically ill, and I did at a certain point. I remember being like, I looked at like my bank account balance, and I'm like, I could go anywhere in the world. I can't think of a single thing that I can't buy right now that I wouldn't want. And I'm miserable. I feel like shit. I can't sleep. I was physically ill. And at a certain point, I was just like, okay, now this is where I learned my lesson. Like, what do I need to feel successful? What do I need to feel actually happy? And I was missing connecting with creative energy. Like, I'm going in and out of buildings where like I'm going in a shorts and a t-shirt, and there's like parole officers, and everybody's in like full bulletproof vests. I'm like, this is not. That's my day in and day out. I'm like, I don't know how much I have this in me. So did it for 8 years. So started it with zero capital. And literally just built it from the ground up using my reputation and saying I have to be everything that I promise all these other people that I am, or like I'm eating shit, like it's success or nothing. And so like taking a step back from that, I was very lost because I was so used to this very professional, very serious industry where I had to be like just like this very stoic kind of like, boss bitch energy all the time. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm boss bitch energy all the time. Like I am more low key. I do enjoy things that are just kind of like more on the creative side. And so I'm very fortunate that I was able to shift. And obviously I got into Bitcoin. I was trading that. I was like, well, cool. I can make money doing this too. That's great. I think that it gives me a little bit of different perspective in building in Web3. It is very freaking hard for me to take any of the shit that happens on the timeline seriously.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've dealt with actual problems in real life. If your problems end if your phone or laptop battery dies, they're not fucking problems.
No.
You know, like it's just so
that's blessings, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get to have a laptop and phone. Yeah, I totally agree. So you've always been a builder. But
Yeah.
that story that involved you building that. So you've been building with us in Web3 or not?
Yeah, I mean, my whole thing was the biggest thing that made the program successful is taking these people who society decided were, worthless and discarded, and saying, you know what, if you kind of treat them with a little respect and give them the tools to like be self-sufficient, then maybe they won't be leeches off of like the public system or go back and forth to prison. And that was the biggest difference. And I do still apply that in Web3, where I'm like, I want to see the potential in people who feel like they're overlooked, who feel like they're just not noticeable, or allow them to see that potential in themselves if they don't have the confidence to bring it forward. So I do have a lot of one-on-one conversations with creators, whether that's clippers or streamers or people who post threads or people who just want to get involved in Web3. And I love the fact that people come to me feeling like, hey, I'm not so confident in this. Can you help me out? I like when people kind of like flourish and then months later I'm getting that DM. It's like, dude, thank you. I just got a job in Web3 and I can't believe I'm actually working in this. And it's because you helped me out or, gave me the encouragement to try. Like that really
That's
excites
cool.
me. And that's why that's like my purpose here in Web3. And I'm very comfortable. If that's all I ever do, then that's like the dream.
That's great. Shout out Hungry DJs who we've got in the chat. Just said they said hello. They can be minting, I think, sometime soon. So shout out to them. Yeah, no, that's a really great story. I wanted to also ask you, what's been one of the bigger challenges working with Abstract so far? What's been tough? Because I we think about the real good stuff, and I'm sure there's lots. But what's been the tricky part?
So what's been really tough is, and I've been transparent about this, like, especially in the beginning where Abstract there's a lot of FUD on the timeline. You have a lot of, a FUD that just happens. And knowing what's being built behind the scenes, seeing how the team works and seeing how like these people are like pouring their all, the community team, the marketing team, and then they're just getting barraged with just like negativity. We're getting criticized left and right. And it's like, holy crap, like that weighs on you as a person. And you're like, we're genuine builders here, like we want to be here for the right reasons. We're not rugging people, launching like scam projects just to take money out. And it feels like sometimes the more genuine you are in the space and the more you put your heart into it, the more open you get to like just kind of like people like picking you apart. And so that, and the comparisons to other chains, like people are constantly trying to be like, oh well, this is better on that chain. And like, I fucking agree. I fucking agree.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us got it 100% right yet. And I feel like it's just kind of like, it's like a matter of taste with vehicles, right? Somebody might drive a pickup truck and somebody else might drive like a sports car because they have different needs. And, we might have to be, the Formula One car of Web3 in that lineup. But
I agree. And that's all right too.
Right, exactly. But I feel like there's a lot of strength across the ecosystem in Web3. I like building cross-chain and seeing it for like that zoom out, like macro vision of like, we're all trying to make something special happen. So why the hell would I tear apart what anybody else is working this hard on?
Yeah, no, that's true. I agree. I think if you're busy building your own thing, you probably shouldn't have the time to really, but I don't think publicly criticize another project. I don't see the point of it other than just trying to fill your own bags. It's what it seems like with that stuff to me. Criticism normally comes in the form, or quite often from people who have bags in another area that are looking to move people around. That's what I reckon it is, from because you can tell.
Yeah, I think it's okay to learn from the mistakes of other chains, and also to evolve and then see other, chains like do a different interpretation of something and be like, oh shit, okay, that kind of bangs right there. Like that they're kind of killing it with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with actually seeing decentralization at work and cheering on. Like that's what the fuck we're here for.
You guys
agree? Did Blast just get CTO'd?
Wait, what?
Blast, is that the chain getting CTO'd? Did you see Vo's tweet? Was it all?
No,
Is that a joke? Is that a troll?
Oh, that's a troll. Yeah,
It's got to be a troll. Yeah, I'm like,
I don't know how often they take her
for a second,
seriously.
and I was like,
it's like some tweets are serious, other tweets are troll. I'm like, bro, I don't know how to keep up with her.
Yeah, I'm like, man. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, you fire away, Greeny.
No, I was going to say, well, you guys are building in public as well. Like a lot of people don't build in public, and I think that's a big difference and a big respect to the team and to yourself for doing that, because a lot of people don't do that. I mean, you've got Cigar literally putting out viral tweets about, oh, wallet changes. Oh, we've got this feedback. Okay, we're going to do this. And it's just like, yeah, exactly. Like no one else is doing that. That's also a great opportunity for growth as a chain, as a brand, as a etc., as a person. But I think that's where a lot of FUD does come in, is because you are building out in the open. And it's those people that, like, I trade out in the open. I give a lot of alpha for free on the timeline. And a lot of people, as soon as you get something wrong, are like, Greeny, you got that wrong. I'm like, yeah, bro, but I got 90% of the other things right. And you're focusing on the negative one that went wrong. But again, we had invalidation here. And essentially we didn't lose zero, like all of our money in that trade. Like it was just a small percentage that was managed accordingly. Like people pick apart the shit rather than focusing on the good stuff or going, wait, how can I learn what he's doing or what you guys are doing? How can I become that person? Or how can I become better by understanding this, rather than going, oh, he got it wrong, so yeah, he's not good. Like that sort of stuff. Like I really hate that. It's just like you're focusing on the wrong thing.
I feel like in web and abstract on every level, community, builders, team, everything, there is an acute vibe of fuck around and find out. Like we have no problem fucking around and finding out at any given point in time. We're not going to get it right 100% of the time, but I can tell you that even like FUD comments of stuff that we can't answer on the timeline, we will message to the dev team and say, how do we answer this? There is that much open communication where they're like, if there is a negative opinion, we want to hear it. We want to know what people don't enjoy about the portal. We want to know what issues there are, because we can't do any better. And I can't say I've ever worked anywhere where people embrace these like these negative things so head on and are like, we want all the fucking smoke. Give us everything there is so we can do it right.
I've got to say the team's been great. Even when I've DM'd the team, they get back to me within a couple of days, which other teams haven't at all, or haven't even read it. So it's been nice. It's been nice from a creator point of view to be able to give feedback and get quite. I mean, at least have the team respond and say thanks for the feedback. That's sometimes what you need to hear. I don't need like a 5-page on how you're fixing it or anything. It's just, hey, notice this, blah blah blah, and the team's like, yeah, great, yeah, blah blah. I just think it's great that there's this feedback loop from everyone, from creators, from the team and community, and it seems like everyone's talking. It doesn't get to the team and then it dies, and then it gets to the team and then it dies. Whereas in Web 2 world, that was my experience of corporate, is ideas got to die in management level, and it happens all the time. And management don't want to see things improve because they almost don't want the status quo change because their position gets threatened or they feel like that. Whereas with Finn and everyone, they almost just like fucking bring it on.
Like, I mean, like he really does, like, he walks the walk and talks the talk in every like step of the way, where he's just like, if there's something fucking going on, tell me about it. If I'm fucking up, let me know. If I'm doing this, and it's just like when that's the standard of what you work for, you're like, damn, okay, I got to bring my A game and I got to really be about it. And like, I'm still fielding messages in my DMs of people saying, hey, my XP wasn't right. What's going on? Cool. Yeah, no, there's no like just, put in a ticket and it floats out there for months at a time. Like, no, DM literally fucking anybody. It's our job to make sure it's working for you.
And I think that's where, like, it's been fantastic for us as creators to finally get a bit of like a little bit of attention where we can chat with you, we can chat with new devs, we can chat with other traders, we can actually get exposure and give that to more people. And it's nice to be on that side of the content creation, because we've worked hard for 18 months doing a lot for free, doing a lot behind the scenes with only say 20 viewers. It's now nice to be getting 500, a couple thousand viewers across the streams. Obviously the top viewership usually on Abstract every session. So it's just nice to give back again to the community that we are really enjoying.
But it seems like people want it as well, which has been that's probably been the nicest from being creators, is people actually out there want the content. It's just we needed a vehicle to serve it on, and Abstract's kind of been a great vehicle to do that. So I've been pretty stoked with Abstract. I'd be very upset if it went away. Put it that way.
Yeah, I mean,
It's been great.
I love being able to like, especially like, tipping a creator directly in crypto and it's immediately theirs. There is no fees taken
That's
out.
huge.
There is no waiting a month, like even on X, if you're being paid for content, you're still waiting for that. You can be demonetized at any point in time. That's decentralized here. It's just like, if people are tipping you, that's yours to deal with. But I think that Web3 has needed this for a while. I'm glad it's come at the time where it has, because we went through a really rough bear, and if you survive the bear and you're on the other end of it, like you're ready to just like, okay, I'm here for a reason. I'm not fucking around. Like, I've got to do something purposeful here. So we probably have the best oriented talent than we've ever had in Web3 right now. So I can't think of a better time than now for Abstract to exist with a streaming platform.
100%. I've streamed on Twitch, I've streamed on YouTube, we've streamed on X, and Abstract is by far the best for creators, which is fantastic. It's nice to be rewarded in that direct way. Exactly. Straight to your wallet, completely decentralized. You don't get that anywhere else. You literally don't. So I love that. Now, my chat is telling me that I'm horrible at Moody Racer and that you dominate. So we'll maybe have to sort out a stream in the future again of us having a race. So,
dude, I suck at it so bad.
I'm horrible. Horrible. Don't worry.
Hey, speaking of games, did Frankie go live today on Abstract?
Yes, actually, like I clicked on it like 5 minutes before I hopped on, and I was like, shit, I can't play this right now because like I'm gonna lose track of time, but I am gonna be late. But yeah, that went live today, so excited to get that tried out. Make sure you go ahead and buy your tickets for that.
Yeah.
But
is it on mobile only, or can you play it on the desktop now?
No, you can play on desktop.
What? Okay,
I opened it on desktop.
Hell yeah. Okay, that's me. Because I've been playing it on mobile the last couple of weeks. They had the mobile sort of before most people knew about it. I've been jamming that, but I would rather play it on desktop.
Yeah, I actually opened it on desktop first. So I haven't even opened it on mobile yet. So.
Okay, well, look, the good thing about Abstract as well is there's so much stuff coming out all the time that is always something to talk about or show people, which is cool too. I mean, every day or every week, hey, Greenie, there's another game. You and me are saying that this is coming. And now the games are getting better and better. Like Moody Madness now, for me, I think that's going to be a hit.
It's sick. I hate how bad I am at it, but...
Yeah, I just think the humorous moments, there's going to be tons. There's going to be so many. And just the team seems awesome, hey, Greenie, when we spoke to them. Yeah, they seem so friggin' good. In fact, they reach out to me all the time saying, which is really weird, like to have a team actually almost bombard me with information. It's really good because I'm like, bring it on, man. Like, because I need content, so they can feed me. I'm like, I don't even have to look for it anymore. I'm like,
Abstract, I feel like even like the teams on projects operate a little differently. Before there was the idea of, okay, we just got to get this group of KOLs, we've got to pay them this amount. And now you're seeing where it's like, okay, this isn't how the community is built. There are these content creators and we're doing things a little differently. And they're wanting to, hey, live stream the game. Hey, let's post some clips and things like that. Let's show people enjoying this as opposed to let's pay people to say they enjoy it.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's pretty neat.
Yeah, but different to the yapping route, which some companies are going, whereby they put most of their marketing budget, I suppose, into paying people to yap about them. Yeah. But what I'm seeing on the timeline now, and I know a few other people agree with it, it's it's coming across very inorganic now.
I legit have drafted up multiple tweets.
I'm keeping away from it now because it's starting to get dirty. And it wasn't that dirty. The yaps didn't seem that dirty a while back, but now it's like, man, you guys are
it's
just
an absolute farm, man. It's an absolute farm.
And that's obviously what Finn wanted to keep away from Daila when he said, fuck the farmers. I get that because, and look, Greenie and I are, I don't know if you want to say guilty of it, but man, if there's $1 to be made and we can farm, I will be there. Like, if there's money, I'm not a fucking retard. But I also know, to hand on heart, it's probably not going to help the company much.
Yeah.
Long term. Short term, they'll get a boost in sign-ups. But longer term, 6 months to a year, I don't think getting all the KOLs to talk about you is going to work.
But more than that, right? Like it goes back to brand and trusting of a brand. If you're gonna just like, I saw two of my top favorite creators are literally with the same tweets, like one an hour or two later, and I'm like, I like look, and it was like the algo perfectly is like, oh, Greeny, look, here is evidence of them both farming the same thing on the same topic. And I was like, oh my gosh. And it comes back to a lack of value and trust then, because they're just doing it for money or for clout on these particular platforms. And I'm like, well, I'm not really about that. I'm here to follow people who are actually going to provide me with genuine information that's time sensitive, or that's actual alpha, not because they're getting their wallets paid in the background or future wallets paid, but actually, okay, I think this is alpha because of A, B, C. Like, I think
they're
that's
not reading from a script like they've got a gun to their head, right?
And exactly.
They just, like, blink twice if you're okay. It's like, fuck, man. Like, is everything okay? Or...
And don't get me wrong, I am not fudding any paid content creator. I would never pay. I would never fud anybody's bag. It's
I agree.
Like,
I agree.
Like ever. But there is like, you do have to temper it, and when you're taking every partnership and everything's like just like, okay, now you're paid shield, now like that content doesn't even have a lot of weight. And if your content isn't like driven to being like, okay, I want to actually connect people, I want to build something, and you're just like a paid infomercial, like, not for nothing, AI is really good. They could just deep fake us all. Like, they don't even need us anymore. So like, pump the brakes a little bit, be judicious about like who you partner with. I've had paid partnerships, and I'll be fully transparent about that. And there's been projects that are approached me, and they're like, hey, we'd like you to post about it. And I'm like, I was gonna mint this anyway, I really like that. So they're like, oh, well, we'd like to send you an NFT to thank you or whatever. I'm like, great. I wanted this anyway. Agreed. So I appreciate you appreciate me. Cool, we're good with that. But when it comes to like to me, I'm not good at bullshitting at all. So like, if I was shilling something I didn't like, you'd see it all over my face. So
same.
It doesn't do me any good.
Same. Yeah, and Greeny and I are the same. We've partnered with companies before, but I think the key is just to be really fussy with who they are. Do your due diligence, because how many times do you see people partner with a brand or company and then they end up being sketchy and wrecking your own brand? Yeah. That's where the danger is. Where I'm looking, you get offers and all this, and you're like, man, I just don't want to ruin my brand. So you've got to be so careful who you go with, because there's a lot of Web3 companies out there that are definitely just extracting and wanting your audience as liquidity, unfortunately.
Yeah. And you guys have dedicated yourself with like, you're like, okay, we're content creators, we're going to put it out with a certain amount of quality, we're going to present ourselves this way in something that we're proud of. You're not just like, hey, we've got a ton of clout in the space, so I'm going to put out one tweet and that's all you're getting. Like, you know what I mean? There's a difference in saying, hey, I'm a real content creator and I'm getting my talent monetized, as opposed to I'm a walking billboard and some people know me, because like the social circles switch up real quick in Web3.
Man.
So.
Yeah, that's right. What's hated today, tomorrow could be hated so easily.
Right.
But I think a big thing as well is what I've noticed. Like, I've dealt with a lot of platforms and stuff for a long time now, and they don't do actual research. They go and look, oh, Greeny, your past few videos on YouTube have between 150 and 400 views. And I'm like, yeah, have you looked at what the content is? And is that a marketing video? Is that a how-to tutorial? Is that an onboarding thing? Is the thumbnail actually like, and I'm like, and then they go, oh yeah, you're only going to get a couple hundred views. I'm like, well, no, if you actually did a bit of research and look at my other marketing videos that have this, and this, okay, they're bigger. You want to pay for my time. Why are you approaching me in the first place? Because you value my education, you value the brand, you value the trust that I provide. So that does actually cost a little bit more than what you're asking for. Like it's the time of doing it as well. So I don't know. I could go about this topic for a long time.
Likewise.
It's frustrating. It's just frustrating,
Yeah, I mean, I'm the kind of person who, when I've done content, I've, as you can tell by painting myself blue, I really put my heart. Yeah,
you got all in. I love it, dude.
And people are like, "Oh, you're shilling a token." I was a member of the community for 2 months before I did any content for it, and the only reason I did content is because I knew the community itself were gonna say, "Hell yeah, we fuck with this." And it's just like,
when I saw it, dude, I didn't even give a fuck what was paid or not. That was just sick. And anyone who's gonna paint their whole body blue, man, like.
Well, just to show you, the chart actually looks really nice. So I took a long out actually on Ticker Bitcoin. So
Oh
yeah.
gosh.
We actually, Greenie and I got into this on stream ages ago.
Way back here. Yeah, we were in quite early. Yeah, we were in
Makes
quite
me
early.
feel old seeing that chart, actually.
Dude, I like when you brought it up earlier, I was like, oh my God, that is a chart I have not looked at in probably 12 months.
They were good times. Actually, speaking of females in the space, you know who's finally just given me a follow, Greenie? Crypto T.
Oh, dude, she doesn't follow me, I don't think.
Man, I've been trying to get her on stream for about a month now, and she's leaving me on unread. So, Crypto T, if you're watching this, because I think she might have added me because you're on right now, give us a shout. Greenie and I want to get you on here and get you chatting. So
100%.
She's awesome. She's awesome. I love her. I love her perspective. I love how she gives based and educated takes, and she's just a young woman on stream. She's everything everybody says should be, like just somebody dumb and doesn't know anything, but she's absolutely like just so fucking on it. And I'm like, hell yeah, I love every second of it.
Let's get it. We'll try and get her on. I've just sent her another DM now. She probably thinks I'm such a creep. As soon as she follows, I'm like, hey, but hey, you got to take your shot, right? If you don't ask, you don't get. So
right.
We'll get T on. We'll get T on to shoot some.
Yeah, it'd be so good to have her on for sure. I mean, all right, well, we should probably wrap soon. We've been gone for about 70 minutes. So we always kind of like to ask a reverse question, because we always like a lot of these sort of shows are always like, oh, bang, 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 questions to you as the non-host. So I always like to say, well, do you have any questions for us about anything, whether it's abstract, ecosystem, streaming, content, whatever it is? Are there any questions that you like to ask us about anything?
Yes. Okay. So
yes, actually, there is a question. That's like if I ask my mum, is anything, or my wife, is anything wrong, babe? Well, actually, I had to ask.
Yeah. And she brings out the laundry list.
I'm like,
right?
oh man.
Okay, so you guys as content creators, as creators on abstract and streaming, I'm very focused on the streaming. What do you think a lot of our streamers are getting wrong?
Whoa, that's good. That's real good. That's the best question we've had on show.
You go, Craig.
So thanks, man. What do I think creators are getting wrong? I
can go first if you want.
Yeah, you go.
He's just as eager to answer as I was to ask.
Yeah.
No. Look, I've been in this space for 9 years. I was previously a teacher. So as Craig said earlier, putting your face in front of a camera and sort of relaying information in whichever way you want to do it, it actually comes naturally to me. I don't mind it. So it wasn't too much of a step out of the ordinary. I think the first thing a lot of creators do wrong is they don't stick in their lane. They don't become a master of the one thing that they're trying to achieve or the one thing that they love. That's the first thing. I think a lot of people try to spread themselves too thin, and they wonder, oh, well, I get a little bit of interest on this topic. I get a little bit of interest on this and a little bit of interest on this, but nothing ever really correlates together to be this massive sort of breakout trend in myself as a streamer. So obviously for Craig and I, it's consistency probably is the first thing. We noticed we were gaining a little bit of traction, but we needed to be more consistent. Make it a same time, same place every week, every day. That way people can rely on you to do that. And that was the first thing. The second one is obviously leaning into what we're good at. And that's educating people on macro trends, trading, alpha education around all of investments and all that sort of stuff. And I think Abstract had a gap on that, and that's why people love that. And that's why Eli jumps on our streams and he's like, wait, guys, what about this and this and this? I'm like, yeah, bro, do this, this, and this. And so that helps as well. So find something that you enjoy, find something that you're good at. And that's probably where I think people could grow. And as you said earlier, lean into what makes you unique. That is how you grow a brand, is you are unique for you, and people love that. Like, you have experiences, you have knowledge, you have stories. Lean into that and relay that, whether it's on Twitter, on our streams here on Abstract, etc. Like that's the part as well. So value being unique and sticking to what you're good / or want to enjoy doing. That's probably my advice.
I think Greenie pretty much stole everything there that you could possibly say, guys. He's left me with the bare bones. If I was going to speak about abstract specifically, but then this is more my taste. I don't know how accurate or relevant this is, but I thought maybe perhaps on abstract, more content that you could really get your teeth into versus just gaming. But then at the same time, I understand the gaming side is actually quite unique to Abstract, so I don't know if I want to take that away. So it's tricky, but I think I'd like to see both come more there, but possibly more content on Abstract would be great, but that's probably more to feed what I'm after. So but then I would reiterate everything Greeny just said. I think probably the main one is stay in your lane. Not kind of stay in your lane kind of sounds like a negative sometimes and not grow, but I don't think that's what we mean. Just hone in on what you do really well and just do that for quite a long period of time. Whereas I think people tend to drift with metas. The only problem with that is they can change so fast that your brand gets left behind and is no longer the main thing. So I guess make your brand really strong regardless of what metas are is probably I don't know if becoming maybe becoming the NFT guy only is a good thing, but then when NFTs go away, it's not so good. That's a great question. I don't have a really good answer.
What do you think of our answers?
I love your answers. I'm approving these streamer applications all the time, right? And I won't approve like people that are just farming. Like that's not enough. It's a creator platform, and I want to see creators empowered. And if you cheapen it to just say whoever wants to farm can be on here, well, then that kind of just makes it so that people who are actually talented really can't shine because it's just drowned out by people who just want to do weird idle shit. But I see a lot of people who message me and they're like, I'm struggling to build an audience and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And it's like, that's on you, bro. It's your audience. So I think these are kind of things that they need. I think other creators need to hear it from creators who are on the platform who are getting it right and who are seeing the fruits of their labor and saying, this is what we did to get here. Do this shit and maybe you'll get here too.
Okay, chat. Someone clip that last 5 minutes. That was perfect. Literally get it out there because that's fantastic. I'll add to that point. Okay, we've been streaming since I'm going to say November 2023. So we only started to so we've been streaming on YouTube and X since then. We had 10 to 20 viewers for 6 months. We then started to get 50. We then started to get 100. Now we have a couple thousand per view or per stream throughout the week. It does fluctuate, obviously. So people don't spend enough time understanding that it is a grind. It takes discipline, it takes consistency, and it takes patience. And if you can master that and understand that, that will lead to success.
Yeah, especially on Abstract, wasn't it, Greeny? It was like one viewer, or none for 3 months. With mine, especially, it was one or none.
What was the catalyst that took us higher, Craig? I don't even remember. Do you remember?
I think just consistency.
Yeah. And people learn to trust.
People got comfortable with us, used to us being there. Kind of like when you've got, I don't know if this is what it is, but kind of like when you've got your favorite TV show of the week. I know, like when I was younger, I'd always have that thing I used to watch because it's kind of comforting in a weird way. And I think I kind of hoped, what I was hoping is that us doing 5 days a week, every day, well, not every day, but mostly weekdays, Sunday to Thursday, it ends up being in Australia. It's Monday to Friday, but that's another story altogether. I hoped from being consistent at the same time, people would just get in a routine with us. And I think that's possibly happened now, where people will now come in and go, it's the Craig and Greeny stream or whatever. It's that time of the day. It's just that time of the day. So, yeah, I think that's worked for us quite well.
And I think we've touched on it earlier in the show. Like, shoot your shot. Shoot us a DM. Yeah. I literally read every DM. I get a shit ton of DMs every day, but I'll read them. And if it's valuable and you ask me a question, I will reply to you.
I'd love a DM asking to jump on the show, or like
exactly what I was going to say.
I'd love a DM just asking content questions rather than a DM going, "Here's a hot ticker. I need you to ape in so I can make money," because that's all I get sent.
So separate yourself in the crowd too, right? A lot of people are like, "Oh, Greeny, like I haven't been applied. Can you help me out?" I'm like, not the right way to go about it. Say, "Hey, Greeny, can I jump on your show?" Or, "Hey, this is what I can bring to offer," and then they bring the content to you and say, "Hey, look, I was with Greeny, I was with Craig on a stream. Like, look, this is what I'm good at. I can improve here. Please approve me to go on the platform." Like, think about it, guys. Think about it seriously.
Hey, we got Crypto T's messaging me, guys, hot off the press.
Let's go. happen.
I told you she's only friggin' watching because Daila's here. I'll tell you what she said. She goes, "Oh, yeah, I just saw you went live with Daila. I'm surprised I didn't follow you sooner. Must have missed your DM." But she says keen as to collab with you and Greenie. She's in Vegas, but when she gets back, she's keen to jump on.
Epic.
So Daila, thanks for indirectly forcing her hand.
Just a little bit of peer pressure.
I didn't know she was in the Angels chat, and then I saw the other day she was in there. So I was like, I'm going to get her because she's going to see me with you. And then university, you go. Thank you.
I mean, there's a lot. There's very few women in abstract that you can name that aren't angels. I don't know many that aren't creators that aren't in the chat, and they don't need to blast all over the place, but it is nice to go into this chat where I'm like, wow, these are the powerhouses who are creating, who are building on abstract, like all over the place, and people don't even realize we're like everywhere. Gives me like evil supervillain vibes behind this.
It's quite good. They were jumping into my stream before, saying shout out to you. You're the queen. Daila Queen. You're so refreshing. Your energy's good, which is actually quite good feedback, to be honest, because we don't get that about every guest. So they're not just saying that. So that's nice to hear as well. And I agree. I think your energy's good. It's light. It's, you know what I mean? Some people come on and they're quite heavy. And I mean that in a good way, right? You started a big topic on liquidity creation. That's a heavy topic. This is nice for a change. This is good.
Eli's just jumping in the chat.
Of course he is,
GM, everyone.
Am I late? I'm like, bro, we're 75 minutes in. Yeah, you're bloody late, man.
You missed all the alpha, Eli. Sorry.
Mate, you know our times of the show. You are on our show every Friday.
Shout out to Eli. Eli's probably got some of the best mans here apart from Farouk and Web3. So shout out to Farouk.
True.
When are we going to get Farouk on Abstract?
Oh, we need to get him on a stream, Craig. We need to send him. We follow each other, so I need to send him a DM.
Reach out.
He's done a few, right?
Because we had OSF, but we need to get Farouk on.
Yeah, we do. What was that, Daila? Sorry.
He's done a few earlier on. He did a few streams, and there are some Rug Radio creators who stream regularly on Abstract. But Farouk is awesome. He's another example of somebody who just knows what it's like to build from the ground up and is comfortable with the fuck around and find out. I remember when he minted, when the Rugs collection minted, back in, was that fall of 21 or early 22? It was around that time.
Probably around that, yeah.
But to see somebody where I've seen from that to where it is now, it's just so incredible. And it's man, if these are the kind of people that are being attracted to this ecosystem, I'm in the right place.
Yeah.
I totally agree. And some of his interviews, shout out for Oak, he's put out some bang interviews. What was it? CZ's the other week was amazing.
He's as big as you can get, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're not worthy, right? As content creators.
Yeah, right.
The guy's the god, man. The guy's the god. And watching him come from Cool Cats in 21 with tipping the milk on his head. Yeah, he's kicking ass. So shout out to Farouk. He's done really well. So we have to try and get him on the show. I find if I yell things on this show and say names, I end up getting them on here. So
there you go. We're manifesting today.
Well, we haven't got Craig's been trying. I haven't sent Luca down, but Craig's been trying so hard to get Luca.
Daila, can you tell Luca? I put out a post. And I even sponsored it on X. I put money behind it, and I said I will change my PFP to Pudgy Penguin if I can get Luca on here. But actually, what I did like is he started following me after that post because I couldn't DM him. But then I DM'd him, and he hasn't read it. So I don't know if he's playing.
Craig. He's a busy man.
I think maybe he needs me to change the PFP before he comes on. I don't know if we're playing cat and mouse. I don't know if this is some sort of sick foreplay by him, but hopefully we can get to some agreement where we get the big fella on, maybe with you even, Skylar, as well.
Yeah, Luca is. I actually had a stream with Luca. He joined me and some of the angels. It was Swanee. It was Ash Decan, Ziana. It was a handful of us, just and we all streamed together. Luca's pretty incredible because he is doing everything from being in DC, oh my god, at least once a month, and managing everything from top to bottom and being approachable. To see him kind of connecting on stream and actually talking to the community and on this platform that he's put so much work into building is such a cool rewarding thing to know that he just came from like community member and Pudgy Penguins who saw potential in IP and just fucking cooked until like he just literally fucked around and found out is pretty awesome. Like
It is.
he started where we're at, and I'm like, damn, all right, I could be
I
kind of
know.
Luca vibes one day.
He's kind of paved the way for people, hasn't he? Like he's given hope to the space in a time when NFTs kind of lost a lot of hope because obviously it brought apes to the top dog and then kind of took a bit of a dive as everything did. And it's been good to see a project like Pudgy come along and show perhaps how to do it. I don't know if everyone can follow that, but there's now sort of a recipe where we can see success and hopefully other brands can start to follow suit with Luca because he's behaved well, hasn't he, in a space where founders often don't seem to behave very well.
Yeah, and you know what? Like he is very strongly opinionated, but there's so much insight and knowledge in everything he says that you do sit there and hang on every word, and you're like, and it blows me away because he's so much younger than I am, and I'm like, here's this young man with this incredible like presence and awareness and maturity in the way he deals with things, and at the same time this level of humility that's always like, and he's busting his ass every single day to continue to earn that reputation. That like you can't.
It's commendable.
Like, that's unfuckwittable. Like, what are you gonna like? What do you say to that? You're like, okay, yeah, man, please let me work for you.
And look, hopefully, I'm gonna clip this because hopefully that's enough glazing now to get him on. So we've glazed his donuts efficiently, Lucas. So let's look.
All right, and Daila, any last questions for us as well? I'm happy to go. I do have another. I'm on another stream for Binance Australia actually in about half an hour. So. I can go another 20 minutes. So what other questions do we have?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's think.
If you have none, that's totally fine as well.
Yeah, I don't hold on. I want to have questions. I like talking to you guys. This is a great stream.
Hear that, guys? Great stream. Make sure you tune in.
Yeah, go click follow. Okay. Go click follow.
What's your take on the influence of how the newest round of meme coins has affected the community?
Tough one. I think the people who were bull posting abstract realized they had a audience and started to extract. And Craig and I, Eli, were in some of these groups. I left them because I'm a trader. I will teach people how to trade. I will never extract. You're going to inevitably. Dude, what the hell?
Hey.
And everything. Goodness. It's telling me I need a break. Goodness. Anyways, I'm still here. Hold on. But let me turn that off. Yeah, there we go. Pudgy. And so
that's
my thinking is like, there's always going to be extractors on chains. You just got to, like, I can easily identify it because I've been in the space and Craig's been in the space for a long time, nearly a decade I have been. And I think like some of these accounts that are like supporting us are also extracting. I'm like, I just won't necessarily deal with you personally. So look, you're going to get it. But I think if you can learn to trust the right people, the Greenies, the Craigs, the Eli's, like the other people, the Gus is in my chat. Big shout out to him. Big shout out to Woo as well, who's streaming. We just flipped him. Let's go in numbers. But like people like that, if you can learn to trust the organic, the educational people, I think that's where you need to get your information from.
Yeah, my take on it, I think it was always going to happen, and I think it's just a maturing thing. I think it's. I think it's actually gone quite well. I think abstract was probably always going to go through that little phase. Yeah. I just think it's the teen or even just the primary school years of abstract, and I think it's probably a good thing it happened. And I think what I get from it is most people are seeing who's extracting and who's not, and I don't think we're going to have a Solana moment. I don't think it. Yeah. I think abstract's actually better than that. As cheesy as that sounds, I haven't seen the community just take to it. I think we all got excited by it, myself for a while as well. But then once I started seeing more and more tickers coming out every day, I was like, okay, yeah. Which is fine, and that's going to happen. But I think the good thing is the space has matured a little bit, And so Solana kind of showed a lot of us that's not the way to go. So even me, I'm like, oh, pull right back. I'm not going to give it airtime, and I think it'll just mostly go away. Hey, he's back.
Oh,
There he is.
I think we had to go through it, and I just think it's growing pains, and I think we'll be better for it. That's what I think.
Personally, I think meme coins are overall good. Obviously, there's going to be, your off teams and extraction events or whatever, but I think overall they make something super attainable where people can join a community at a low entry point, and you can do some really you can do some really special things. Obviously, again, you could do some really cool content and like really lean into different things. And I think Abstract has the rails to be able to do it with just the way we built our community. But like you said, it's a maturity thing. We kind of have to navigate our way through.
I think it's just teething problems. It's going to be all good.
And like we were talking before we even started the show, I think Abstract, and I know a few people think this already, we're in that stage that we need to see a shift away from IP penguin memes and actual meme content, meme coins, right? I think that's what's coming next. And I think that'll obviously help the polys, the absters, the newts over time, but it's time for something fresh as a meme coin. So guys, if you're creating something cool, you want some to jump on a stream. We literally had Archer from the new community last week. So we're always open to a lot of potential. Yeah. Content.
Please, for the love of God, have an original idea. Please, like I'm begging, come up with something.
Yeah.
Like, rub the brain cells together, start a fire.
We need to check the Bitcoin on Abstract. Something I'm waiting for something to come along that's quite edgy. That makes some people upset, actually, is what I'm after.
Yeah. I think it'll come. We had even with our NFTs, right? We've had that anime, we've had the cute IP or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we had something like Dramelio come along that kind of leaned into more like that degen aesthetic. And it was just okay. I think that I always think that there's somebody who's going to come along and be like, okay, the community's missing this kind of vibe. Yeah. Let's see where we can inject that. So
I agree. Dramelio was big for me.
And I think a lot of people, guys, I create educational videos on how to trade these meme coins and how to read the contract addresses on chain. So a lot of people get it wrong. And a few people in my chat right now are mentioning a couple of tickets. I'm like, guys, literally go on chain and read through and see who's shilling it and also how big their bag is. The beautiful thing about Abstract is you can take the contract address, paste it into AbScan, copy the wallets that hold it, go back to Abstract and check who it is and see if they're posting about it and how much they bought and when they bought. You do this, takes maybe 5 to 10 minutes. You will know whether you should probably get into these meme coins or not. That's a simple tutorial. So, yeah. All right. I mean, an hour and a half, that's a banging show. I mean, we could probably keep going. We could go for so long. So I think we should definitely run this back in maybe a couple of weeks, in a month's time. Thank you so much, Daila, for jumping on our stream. I think we've got heaps of people in the house. A lot of people are in the chat. Respect you. Love what you're doing for the chain. Love your story, all those sorts of things. So massive kudos and thank you to you from chat and from Craig and myself as well.
Thank you guys for having me. This is awesome. I'm down to talk whenever, and I'm glad Crypto T answered you. We'll peer pressure everybody.
Okay. Thanks, Daila. Thanks for coming on. It's good to have the monkey picture legend on here. You're a buddy.
Yeah.
I love it. Let's go play some Frankie Go, man. I'm excited to go and jam that.
I know. Now I've got to mess with that and, burn through hours of my life where I should be working and I'm playing games. But it's work, right? I work for Abstract, so.
It is work. And everyone in the chat saying thanks for jumping on. Razuka, Floppy Penguin Show, all the regulars are there. Tig's there. Thanks again, Daila. That's a dope show.
And big shout out to all the tips as well. Nathan just tipped me 1,000 penguin, absolute legend. Woo! Shout out to the people earlier as well. I can't remember your names because I have to scroll through chat. AC43, thank you. And Argon, thanks for the abster as well at the start of the stream. Much appreciated. And also, guys, up Queensland, okay, there's a few people in my chat saying that they're Blues supporters. Oh, that's disgusting. Get out of my chat. For Daila that doesn't know, this is probably one of the biggest sporting events of the year in Australia. It's
like our Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's our state versus the state below us. Massive, millions of people tune into this event. So it's tonight. So up the boys. So yeah, thank you again for jumping on. Absolute pleasure to have you today.
Thanks a lot, guys. I had a blast.
Thanks,
Easy. All right, guys. As always, make sure you go follow Greeny Trades. Make sure you go follow Daila as well. And then make sure you go follow Craig's Coin Purse on YouTube, on Twitter, on Abstract, guys. We're trying to make this one of the biggest shows out there with our lovely friend Eli jumping on every Friday as well. Craig is streaming this afternoon with the DGen Mint as well. So do check that
tomorrow, Greeny. I think that's tomorrow.
Okay, maybe I got my times wrong. Okay, so it's
tomorrow.
It's
the American thing. It's their Wednesday, my Thursday.
Dude,
I know. I thought I'd prep for it today, and then I realised it's not today. So I got some spare time now. Thank fuck.
Excellent.
That's confusing as shit.
Yeah, I'll be playing games.
No, well, yeah, join Craig tomorrow afternoon, guys. I won't be there, unfortunately. I got a few things on. And then Pio joins us next week from the Badoggo show. So we're stoked about that. I mean, I've been on their show a couple of times. Got a lot of respect for those guys and that team. Actually, I was on there last week, to be honest. So that was really cool to be back on there. So be stoked to get Pio's insight into all things Bitcoin, all things MicroStrategy, but also obviously Abstract and Pudgy Penguins, because I know he did have a big bag of Pudgy Penguins back in the day. So hopefully he's still holding. But yeah, as always, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Daila. Thanks, Craig. Have a lovely night.
Guys.
Have a lovely day.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Bye.